Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie. This is my Crafty Den, and I'm about to do a Memorydex Monday challenge card, a Memorydex card. This challenge is a little bit different. It's just me challenging you to create something every week, to do a small art project every week. I know a lot of us crafters sometimes lose inspiration and we just stop going in the craft room. It's happened to me many times. I spend weeks away from the craft room because I just can't get motivated enough to do something. So I challenge you to get in your craft room and make one tiny little piece of art at least once a week. A lot of times when you do that, your motivation, it just comes back to you. So, Memorydex Monday. You can use the prompt that I use. You can do whatever you want. You can make a Memorydex card. You could also make an ATC card, a tag, alter a playing card. Do whatever you want to do. Not many rules to this challenge either. The only thing that I ask is that if you have a holiday coming up the next week that is something special for you, create a card in that theme. And on your birthday, make yourself something. Do a little motivation card. Just give yourself a pat on the back, wish yourself a happy birthday, and just make yourself a happy birthday card. Just do something for your birthday. Do something for yourself. So I've already taken this. It is just a piece of watercolor paper. This one isn't from the dollar store. I got this at a yard sale. Somebody had half a book of watercolor paper for 10 cents and I grabbed it. And this is actually Winsor & Newton. It's a better quality, like a little bit thicker. So I'm going to punch my holes. I've cut this strip 4 inches wide. And of course, a Memorydex card is 4 inches wide and it has these holes in the bottom of it. By the way, this is a Heidi Swapp Memorydex paper punch. I've had this for a very long time. I don't even know if they're available anymore, but you can look on Amazon. Actually, I might look on Amazon, and if I can find one, I'll put a link to it. So I've decided I want to do industrial, but I don't want to do steampunk. So I have a couple of things to use. I actually have this cut and collage steampunk boys and girls. I love them. They're really cute. They're steampunk, but they're not all gears. But these are ATC size, and they're quite small. Now, she's beautiful, actually. She would be very nice on a card. Yeah, there's just so many of these. They're so stinking cute. My other option is I've been working so much out of Mary Me's small art collage ephemera books for art journaling and card making. This is the Spring Stories and Backgrounds. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I'll link this. But she does a bonus page in the back of her books. Let's move that down there so it's not distracting. Yes, she does a bonus page. And this bit here, I think, is from the Moss Stories, and this one here is her Industriata, maybe it's called. She has an industrial. She has a couple of them out that are industrial, and she is in this really pretty bluish color. But look at the light bulbs. These light bulbs are really adorable as well. I also have these. These are little mini paper pads. This one is called Explore the World, and this one's Vintage Inventions. Now, would she look good on just a couple of that? I'm just going to grab one of these. And this is the same as this. So you've got multiple sheets that are the same. So I might use some of these backgrounds here just to create a collage. Oh, there's some lighter color. That would be nice in my background. Okay, so I've got some pages out of these books. And when I got this and decided I would do an industrial background, I thought of her. Now she is, the other ones fit on ATC cards, so they'll fit in 3.5 inches. But she is almost 4.5 inches tall. So I am going to do, because I keep my cards in a box and not on a Rolodex, I can make my cards a little bit higher if I want to. So I am going to do a 4 3/4 inch card. So I am going to mark my height, and I'm going to go up to the 4 3/4 inch mark. Like this. Now, the whole card doesn't have to be this high. This has to be my high point. So I'm going to get my girl and cut her out, and I'll be right back. So I cut out my little industrial pieces, and I put her on my card because I wanted to see where she was going to go. And I think she's going to go over to the left here. And I don't think this part sticking out will be a problem. I might move her a little bit closer. But I want to be able to cut this out, and I want to be able to hang my lights at the top here. Maybe one there and one there. I'm just going to do 3 of them, I think. And one there, like that, so that they're at different heights and different sizes. So light bulbs instead of gears. I think that's a really great idea. And there's duplicates of these. So if I do want these tickets, I can cut them out. Like this one has a gear, some stamps. That ticket actually would go really well on my card. So I might cut that out. There, that's pretty good. Now, do I want a lighter background underneath them or a darker background? I think I want a darker background underneath them, and I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting around them to make the pieces pop. So let's start putting this together. I'm going to start by cutting this off the top like that. I'm going to cut. I'm going to tear, not cut. I'm going to tear some pieces for my background. Okay, let's try to glue some of this stuff down. I'm just going to grab a permanent glue stick. The hardest part of doing any small art piece is deciding what you want, gathering your pieces, and deciding how they're going to fit together. Once you've done that, putting the piece together is really simple. So I don't think it matters where this goes. I'm going to start in this corner, I think. There. So, I mean, I'm showing you right here that I'm not even putting them back down on the paper the way they were. It's going to look just as good. These pieces are the same print. I'm just tearing them up and using them in different ways. So let's put a little piece up there. Whoops. There. I'm trying to get this line lined up so I don't have to cut it. I do know I'm cutting the top already. And by tearing these pieces and changing them around, now I've got script going. different directions, which I kind of like when I'm doing a background. I'm covering every inch of this, but I probably don't have to because that little industrial themed girl is going to cover a lot of this. Like she's going here like that. So I just need to cover that little piece now. How about just putting this like this over top of that? I think I will. Okay, now I need my holes. So I'm gonna slide that in there. So what I'm doing is, because this is a little window into the bottom, this is where it catches the little bits. I'm gonna make sure that it's lined up perfectly and give it a punch. And I'm going to try and not have to punch them again. I'm going to put her, I want her boot above the hole because I don't want to cut any of her off. And when I put her in my little box and these little holes go on my little rails that I've created in my box, this very bottom of the card is going to be hard to see when I'm flipping. So it's the top part that I see. So I want her up here where she is prominent. Now, I have this clear gesso, and it's the one that I used the last time. And it's that smooth finish instead of the textured finish. And I think I love it. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this. And I'm going to put, look how thin that goes on. But it's going to protect this paper now when I add my paint and prevent the paper from soaking up too much paint. And it's such a quick thing to do. It dries so fast. I mean, it's literally drying as I'm putting it on here. This stuff is really phenomenal. So I've got my gesso on here. It literally took 2 minutes to dry. Like, so easy. This is just a little bit of white acrylic paint mixed with water, about 2/3 paint and 1/3 water, to thin that paint out so that I can use it for splatter for things like this. And these little pill bottles, they are airtight. And they make the greatest little bottles to store liquids in. So I am going to, I got my lines on here. I'm going to put a little bit of paint, just rubbing it in to push that background back a little bit and smear it. I want it lighter, but I want to be able to see it still. And my finger is honestly the best way to do this. I'm squishing it out really, really thin, spreading it so I can see that background. I can see all that writing through there still. I want it thin. I've used such a little bit of paint, and because I've got that water mixed in with it, so now I've got that background. That's really cool, actually. I really like that. I'm going to add a little more water to it and see if I can push it and thin it even further. On my rag, I always have my rag. Because I have that gesso down there now, I can do this. Wow. So now I've got that paler background, but I still got that vintage. Oh my gosh. I love that technique. I've done it, just done a couple of little cards that I was playing around with, and I loved how that looked. So that's what I have now. And look what's going to happen to her now when I put her on here. She's just going to pop on this page. And these pieces here are going to show up so much better. And I'm going to put them up there like that. Is that not just the cutest? So yes, she's going on there now. So I'm just going to grab another little piece to put her down on there because I don't want her to stick to the other card that I've got glue on. I'm still just using this is the last one of these permanent glue sticks that I have, but I do have that one that I can reposition. I don't think I need that for this because I'm not trying to put any pieces underneath. So let's get her in the right spot. I want her skirt to cover that little bit of paper. I'm going to tip her so she's just a little bit back. She's at the top of the card. Am I going to leave this card this high, or am I going to cut this side down a little bit? I think I'm going to put this down a little bit. So when I put these on, there's a big truck outside. I don't know what it's doing. I'm going to move them down a little bit. There. These are such tiny little bits. I overlapped that a little wee bit. I stop talking when I start doing these little bits because I start thinking about what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. There. I've got this glued down everywhere. Let's get that one down there like that. So I've got them all hanging. Her hand doesn't have any glue on it. There. So can I, just so that I don't screw it up, I'm going to draw a pencil line like this, and then I'm going to come around here like this and kind of trim around the top of her. So a little bit there. And then, oops, let's get you stuck back down again. There, like that. So she's kind of got a tab here where the top of her helmet is. She's so cute. So cute. Now, do I want a little bit more highlights, or do I just want some splatter? Oh, I wanted to put this tag down here. I absolutely love it. Can I get her under her foot? I think I can. And put it right underneath her like that, so it just barely sticks out a little bit there. I like it. I think that glue isn't sticking down as fast as it normally does because that paint is a little bit wet, which for me is a good thing because I wouldn't have been able to put this tag under her if it had. I just finished saying I'm using this permanent glue because I'm not putting anything underneath. Yeah, so we can throw that out the window. And let's put a little more on her foot. All right, so get that down. Okay, we're good. We're good. That's sticking out a little bit. Let's get that glue wiped off the back. It'll be fine once it dries. So I'm kind of putting a little shadow behind her. And all I'm doing is using this hard charcoal pencil. I don't even know where I got this one. I don't think it came from my charcoal kit. It might have. So I want to put a little bit of a shadow around my little girl here. And I have this hard charcoal pencil. And it's kind of what I want it to do, but it's not soft enough. It's not blending. But at Christmas, I got a few things that my husband picked off my wish list for Christmas, which was really amazing. But I got these pencils. I've got some number 2s, and I've also got these charcoals. Here's a soft. Let's see what happens with this. I always also have some blending stumps here. So let's grab a blending stump and a charcoal pencil. Let's see what happens. So if I put some charcoal around her skirt like this, if I take my stump, I can blend this out. Now my background's not dry enough, so it's been drying pretty good. I need it to dry a little more. Okay, let's see if this works a little bit better, if this is a little drier. And I'm just going to blend it out away until it starts to lighten up and I can't see it anymore, like as I'm moving it. There's very little charcoal there, and it's giving me this great big shadowy smudge, which I really like on this style card. It's really squeaky. Now, I couldn't do this probably on this paper without the gesso on here. Just going down to the bottom here. There. And I don't want a lot at the top here, but because I've got this white highlight bit behind her, which I think is perfect. But the smudging at the bottom, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to round this corner too, because this is rounded. I didn't use a punch or anything to punch that corner. I just used my scissors to give it a rounded top. You can see there. Okay, I've got my vintage photo distress ink. Let's see if I can put some of that on here too. perfect. That's the perfect color for this. I've saw a couple of videos where people are using the walnut stain distress ink as well, which looks really good on these vintage cards. These industrial style. Now, do I need a sentiment and do I need some splatter? Because that's all that I'd have left to do. Let me look for a sentiment and see if I can find something appropriate. Oh, so I grabbed this. This has been my go-to for any of the darker colored cards. This is the Big Chat, and I found Discover. Like, is that not perfect for this card? I think it is. So I'm going to use just the word Discover. I'm going to add a little bit of this permanent glue stick to it, just because that's what I've been using. I'm going to put it here, just above this ticket here. And I think it's perfect. I really do think it's perfect. So here is Memorydex card number 18. The prompt that I'm using is industrial. That's what I just decided at the beginning of making this card. I don't pick a prompt too far ahead. I just think of something and then look for materials for it. So yeah, I don't like to put too much stress on myself. So if you've enjoyed this week's card, please give the video a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you're watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd absolutely love if you did that before you left, so you can come back, see what else I'm up to, and let me know in the comments, do you like industrial or steampunk themes, or just a vintage overall look? That's really great too. Or if you just stay away from it because you don't like it, that's okay too. So it's not for everybody. So I'll see everybody in the next video. Until then, bye bye for now, everyone. Have a really wonderful day.